Happy Halloween. Hope everybody's having a good day. Let's get some music playing. Is Bitcoin scary? I don't think it is. We got to talk about what's going on in the charts, why it's setting up for an epic bull run. We're going to be getting this going here in just a few minutes, so let's get it going, baby. What's up, everybody? Roll call. Everybody in the house right now. I want to see some lab coats. I want to see some pumpkins. I want to see what coins you're looking at. Are you in any trades? Are you waiting on a particular trade? Did you make money this week so far? Did you lose money? What are you doing? I'm excited for the show with each and every one of you. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, because Bitcoin is scary if you're ignorant and you can't see all the data in front of you. But we're going to break that down today. We're going to be looking at some TA. And we are doing another members-only stream for BitLab Academy members in the Discord at noon today. We're going deeper on a bunch more altcoins and all kinds of stuff. So let's do this. Good day, everybody. It is the Mad Scientist here in BitLab Academy. And I just wanted to say hello and welcome to my little shop of horrors. We are going to be talking about Bitcoin and why it is so scary. For anybody that's still in fiat currency, that is. Bitcoin is the best asset in the history of the world. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to BitLab Academy. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the show, Halloween edition. That's right, I'm a mad scientist. I think it's a little bit too bright in here. We gotta dim it up. There we go. How's everybody feeling? How you doing? I feel like we got to jump right on into what's going on today. We got some things that I want to talk about. We got to talk about an incredible breakout of over a long time, over a year and a half. Looking right here at Atom, Cosmos. Right? You look at how long this trend line goes back, all the way to back here. This is March 2022. We see, I mean, we can take it back to here, but let's do it from this point right here over. We see that is, that's a long time. It's 1,000, it's actually 608 days. 608 days, Cosmos, Atom, has been in a downtrend. And we finally, look at this double bottom, perfect double bottom right here, where we got this sort of set up. And what we do, we broke the neckline right here, broke the neckline. And what did we do? We did exactly what we want to do. When we talked about this, I did this a video on Discover Crypto. I've also done it in several videos here on BitLab Academy. What did we do? Look at this. Push up, break of this line, a break of this line right here. We came back, retested that, and pushed back up. And we're starting to attempt to break out that region right now. How many of you out there are holding? How many of you out there are holding Cosmos? It is looking like it could be making some waves here. Look at where it rejected from as well. Look at this line, right on this line, which is the previous lows. Boom, boom. It's as if you can look left on a chart, and then when the price action starts moving its way back up, it gives you an identifiable region that you should be watching for, taking some profits, or waiting for a confirmed. We can get a double confirmation breakout here where we have the push up, the retest, the break of this level, and this is so close. Waiting on this breakout here, because once we break that level, the next zone up is right there from 824 up to 854, and then the next level up is up here in this order block 914, and then we go up from there all the way up here to 1023. Then we break up further beyond that up here at that point of control. That line is coming across here. We start getting into really interesting areas for price. But Atom is setting up for an incredible move. I move the camera just a touch. There we go. I feel like that's, for some reason, my camera is, let me look at this really quick. Yeah, it's all good. Whatever. We can keep it going. But is Bitcoin scary? That's the question. Bitcoin's scary if you don't understand that we're going into the most bullish time in history with the most bullish setup. Let me come back over here. Is Bitcoin scary? The mad scientist wants to know. He wants to tell you the truth. It is not scary if you understand that Bitcoin is coming into the most bullish time in history in terms of how the market cycle structure works for Bitcoin, for the crypto market. The halving schedule coming up mid-April. We are setting up for what could be and what is very likely to be the biggest bull run in terms of risk-adjusted returns. What do I mean by that? Of course, you would have had 12,000% gains if you were bold enough to buy, even $100 worth of Bitcoin or $1,000 or even $10 worth back in early 2010, 2011, any of that time period. And then there was no legacy. There was no proof of concept other than the fact that people hoped that it worked. And now we've had over a decade, and Bitcoin is proving to be the best asset in the history of the world. You heard it here first. Look at that hair bounce. That's right. It's bouncing much like the price does every time it pulls back. If we pull up the Bitcoin chart, which we will do here in a second, Bitcoin is moving into the most bullish time in history with the most bullish setup ever. We have all these Bitcoin spot ETFs on the horizon. Why do we give a shit about spot ETFs? That gives access to Bitcoin in the traditional markets. Aren't we trying to move out of the market? Sure. Absolutely. For each and every one of you that's here in the crypto ecosystem, that's already starting to invest, or even at minimum investing in your education by watching this channel or any other channel like this. Learning about Bitcoin already puts you ahead of people that have just heard about it on the street. By even showing interest, you are ahead of 95% of people in the world right now. There's about 450 million people in the world that have some sort of crypto exposure. Many of those, I would argue, probably over 100 million, are people that may have bought years ago, lost those computers, lost those wallets. They're not even really in it anymore. The truth is, Bitcoin is moving into the most exciting part of its market cycle with the understanding that history is on our side now, because Bitcoin is proven to be that immutable, transparent, and widely shared just thought and culture. It's everything. It's not just a transmittal of money. It's not just a store of value. It displaces everything in our financial system and then some. And now we have all these ETFs. I just brought that up. Why do we care about ETFs? Because it will usher in, it will be a channel to the largest wealth transfer in the history of the world. There's going to be, even if it's mere percentage points, 1, 2, 3% of all these global equities and real estate and stocks and bonds and treasuries, even with a very small percentage of that pie getting reallocated into Bitcoin, it's going to be such a flood of monetary velocity into this space that we've ever seen. And we understand the supply. We understand that demand is coming. We're on the S curve of adoption, just starting that large push to the upside. We're not even at 10%. 10% is the threshold by which then the onslaught of the masses enter into a technology adoption. That's where we're at right now, and it's all setting up to happen just as we come into the next halving, which is also the perfect setup for all this stuff to happen. So everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell, get involved with the community here. I love you. I appreciate you. I ain't scared of you. I want you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about this. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. This is going to drive, even if you're only in altcoins, this is going to drive the altcoin markets as well. Money is going to flood into Bitcoin. And then there's going to be a percentage of that money that's in Bitcoin that once price action starts to push up and starts to get up towards that $38,000, $45,000, $50,000, once we break past previous all-time highs and we start pushing higher and higher, there's going to be points in which capital will be redistributed, will be reallocated across the broader ecosystem. Now we see, as we just showed, we see that we do have coins like Cosmos that are currently just now breaking out. If we come over here to the ETH, to the total market cap, we talked about this chart before. This is all the crypto out there that's worth looking at. all in one index. This is a total market cap of all that crypto out there. What do we see here? We see a rising level of support, flat level of resistance. And if we were to invert this, I forget how to do that. If we were to invert this, you would see that this is scales. I don't ever invert. I forget how to do it. It's somewhere in here. But if we were to invert this, you would say that this is a very bearish setup, because these tend to break down, much like we saw on Bitcoin. When we see Bitcoin back in 2018, we look at this right here, 2018. Let's come up here to Bitcoin. There we go. All right. So, God damn it. There. This area right here, you see this pattern. Descending level of resistance, flat level of support. This would be that same pattern we just saw in the total market cap, inverted, right? So this would be what happens here, breaks down. So what happens when we look at this, we're setting up to have an explosion in the total market cap, which means capital in the markets, values going up, increased interest in the space, and it will only get bigger and better sometime between now and April. We're going to have some chop around there. It's going to trap your liquidity if you don't have a strategy. But then post-halving, April 2024, presidential election year, spot ETFs are likely already approved. They're scheduled to likely, or thought of to most likely be approved sometime in January, February, early 2024, before the halving. And then we have the halving, and then the markets are going to just go parabolic after that. Is the likelihood. It's not a guarantee, but it is a pretty darn strong likelihood. So this is a halving right here, we see. And what happens? Boom, straight up to, this is a halving right here. Boom, parabola each time post-halving. So the question is going to be, what is going to happen when we have August, April right here? Opposition V, that's the next halving. It doesn't matter to me at all what happens right here. This is the area I'm interested right here when we start really pushing to the upside, and that's going to see massive gains if you have your portfolio distributed correctly or in the most meaningful way. Don't have just one single coin that you think is going to 100x, because that coin will likely fail and you will end up with no money. Have a good distribution between your portfolio of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, AVAX, AGIX, GRT, Rune, Arweave. Did I say Cardano? Quant. There's Filecoin. There's so many different projects out there and so many different aspects of this ecosystem. It would be silly not to have yourself basically exposure across that entire market. And that is that area. That is that area right in this region right here that we are waiting for. Don't worry about the noise here. Don't go 64x long because you think it's about to break out and you want to catch it, because that's when you get a liquidity push to the upside and then basically a move back down. And then you end up with zero capital or a huge reduction in your amount of capital right here in this target area that we're looking for, April 2024, being ready for that parabolic uptrend. What does that mean? Where are we at in relationship to it? We've talked about this chart time and time again. This is a halving chart. This is a chart that shows you exactly where we're at in progress. And it shows you right here, this is that gap. This is a halving we were just talking about. You can see in relation to previous halvings, this is the last halving. This is the area of time that we're traversing right here. We can look at these two areas as examples of what the market was doing. Okay, we already had the market cycle low, and we had a retest of the zone right here. This was a global economic shutdown. We already had the market cycle low. Then we had a push up, sell back off, consolidation, another push up, and sell off into the halving. So we had two different scenarios here where we had consolidation, push up, sell off. In this case, we had a push up, strong sell off because of the black swan, and then consolidation after. Either way, we had a consolidation, a push up, and a sell off. So how is that going to play out here? Do you think we're going to get a push up before the halving and then a sell off into the halving? Do you think we're going to get a sell off after the halving? Do you think we're going to get no sell off whatsoever? Let me know your comments right now in the chat. Let me know your thoughts. Or do you think that we're already setting up for a liquidity trap for this to actually break down from the current levels that it's at? right in this region. I mean, we are at a known level. We're at a key level right here. We have a bull flag, but we have all this basically work over here from these previous lows. And we have this large level of resistance directly above us. Are we going to get rejected here? Let me know your thoughts. Look at all this bearishness on the BitLab trend signal. This does not mean price has to go down. This means signals are setting up, which makes sense because it's cooling off right here. They're not looking ultimately bullish right now on the daily. What does it look like on the 4 hour? What does it look like on the 4 hour? And what's your favorite time frame? When you're looking at charts, give me 2 time frames that are your favorite time frame. Okay, we see Crypto Crank says, what do you think about getting digital residency ID and pull out? Hey, a lot of people I know have done it. It's a great spot to get, so you can do that. You can also get a Brave browser, and you can get a proxy plugin set up to where every time you open up the Brave browser, it sets you don't have to log into a VPN, you don't have to do anything. It will automatically set you at whatever region of the world you want it to be set from. It's an alternative to always having to log in and out of VPNs. Now, that doesn't change the fact that in some places you have to KYC, but it is just something to consider. Now, you see here, we have this bull pennant. The target feels incredible. 41,000, basically 40,950. Let's call it $41,000. But we've talked about this time and time again. We have this massive overhead level of resistance that's intersecting previous lows over here. Boom, boom, boom. Look, all these lows intersecting right here, basically front running this by a great deal. I mean, roughly about 37.8 to 38.5 region. We can actually put a box right there. What's in the box? All right, you see this? This is where a lot of people get wrecked. They see this bull flag extrapolation of what the target could be, and they only set profits at this level here, only to have price action front run this tremendously, where we have known levels, and you forget this because you see the target, you go, I want all the profits from this, and what happens? You get none of the profits because you didn't break up your entries and you didn't break up your exits. If you're not taking profit while you're trading, what the hell are you trading for? Most of you should not be trading. Most people in the market should not be trading. You need to dive into your education and understand these markets. Dominate with $10. Turn $10 into 1,000. Turn 1,000 into 10,000. Then at that point, then you can scale up into leverage trading. Then at leverage trading, then you start again with, let's say, 100. And you trade that up to 1,000, trade that up to 10,000. And then as you're scaling with this very small portion of your portfolio, hopefully, and if $100 is a lot to you, then I hope we can get you a lot more over time. But shout out to Army Piper in the chat. What's up, my dude? We want to make sure that we don't see this target and we forget that we have a lot of roadblocks in the way of that target. It doesn't mean it won't ultimately hit this. It does mean that you could adjust your risk and look at the chart, see what the chart is telling you about potential stopping points, and break up your exits on this. As this pushes up, taking some off the table at this line right here, 37.5, taking some off the table up here at 38.4, and leaving a little bit on the table up to basically have profits taken up here. But what you can do is, as this moves up, the second it starts moving up, you're adjusting your stop loss. Or if you are trading leverage somewhere, there's a lot of different exchanges that have trailing stop losses that essentially once price moves a certain amount, then it basically automatically moves your stop loss up with it. And it says, if say you go up $50 or $100 in your profits, your ROI, then it automatically turns on this trailing stop loss. And you can set it for once it reverses $5 or reverses $100 or reverses $500, whatever you're setting, then it'll automatically close you out. That way, if it does just moonshot up to here, then on the reversal, then you'll be closed out rather than having to chase making sure your profit is taken at the exact target, because it very rarely will go to the exact target you have on the time frame that you're looking for it to happen. Price action usually will get there, but most people get basically fudded out of a trade, or they can't control their emotions, so they don't let the price develop. And so and they jump out, and then it goes exactly to the target that they wanted, but they didn't have the patience. What exchanges offer trailing stop losses? I want in. I'll do a whole video about that. Eric Brubaker. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's do a roll call right now. It is Halloween. Is anybody else dressing up today? Is anybody else a mad scientist? Because we got to break down all these different things happening in these charts. And I hope every one of you can let go of the insecurity of trying to be Mr. Cool Guy. Be a kid. Have fun. This is what it's all about. We got to do this as a community. Want to do something different for you all today. Ye old whipsaw, says Tenacious B. Crimson Caravan, how you doing? Sawtooth Hiker. Justin Eubanks. Alexander G. Bit Voodoo. You're not late because you're here, my friend. Scotty B. Scotty B up in the limousine. Amon Perry. Bob from accounting. We got to get him a red stapler. Jake Mueller. Crypto Crank. We got the whole crew in the house today. Jeanette, how you doing? Now, I want you all right now to ask yourself if you've hit the like button, because we only got 32 likes in here and 71 people watching. Everybody hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't yet, if you want to learn more about how to read price action, about how to understand what's going on in these markets and set up your portfolio and understand risk management and understand how to use different types of indicators like RSI and stochastics and Bollinger Bands and Ichimoku clouds and the BitLab trading stack and moving averages and trading strategies. Make sure you head over to bitlabacademy.com. Sign up with us. Give Me 30 gives you 30% off your first month. Easiest way to also help keep the channel alive. We do have some price changes that are coming to this because we're adding a lot more value in the Discord. I'm going to be doing near daily, not daily, but near daily live streams only for members. So if you wonder why I'm not doing as many just long breakdowns of TA and stuff here on YouTube, it's because we got people that are in our community that deserve some special love and attention. So get over here, part of the BitLab Academy All Access. You get membership to the premium Discord as well. And so basically get in there. We got all the, and we're working on so much more. By the way, if you want to join today, here on the BitLab Discord at the very top right here, it says one event. Click on that. Click interested. Share that with your friends. Share that with the other people that you know are members. But come and join us today, noon. We're going to be breaking down a bunch of stuff in the charts. Now, what coin are you looking at right now? Have you seen something? Let me know. I can't look at everything. Have you seen something that looks like it's about to break out on a 4-hour time frame or above? Let me know. But let's go ahead and look at Ethereum. We'll see what our girl Ethereum is doing. We got a key level, a couple key levels we got to watch. This is an ugly chart. Let's go ahead. You know what we're going to do? Let's rebuild this chart together. Okay, let's double click here. That's just too much. Remove drawings. All right. Now let's turn off all the indicators and let's get some key levels set. Option T gives you a trend line. Now, by the way, if you come over to youtube.com/@BitLab Academy, you come right here to Daily Alpha. Watch this Pro Trading View guide. I break down how to set up your templates, how to use quick keys, how to really basically master, at least at like an intermediate level, master the ability to dominate in TradingView so you can work in here quickly and really understand how to utilize this near critical tool so you can really dominate in this market. So there we go. We got a bit of a, I would call this an ascending triangle. We have a ascending level of support, flat level of resistance. We just talked about what that could mean. Now let's see if there's any sort of levels right here. There is. We've broken out of that. Interestingly, we see that. Boom. That is feeling good. This gives me a little bit more of a bullish case for Ethereum. Now, Ethereum has not been performing well as it relates to Bitcoin, but it may be getting a bit oversold on that pairing, which means we could be setting up for something groovy, baby. So let's also look. We got a smaller trend line right here. We've broken out of that as well. So let's look at this. Okay, so boom, from the top, option F gives you a Fibonacci. Fibonacci's help give you an idea of where price action will likely go to based on historical analysis. You know, coming into this 382, look at this. We pushed all the way up to the 0.5, got rejected. Pushed right here at the 382, the 38.2%. is another way to think of it. Rejected. We're pushing up to this again. If we're able to take this out, I do think we're going to be moving up. We're going to get some resistance here at 2072. We may even chop in here. But once we take out this level, the next step up is up here, $2,500, which look at where this lines up. This golden pocket right here, 0.618, 0.65 lines up perfectly with these previous lows. So this is going to be a critical juncture for Ethereum when the price action starts pushing up. Why do we care about this now when we're nowhere near it? Because you want to look at a map before you go on a trip. If you don't, you end up lost and you end up, eating at White Castle and ending up in the bathroom because you didn't look for where the good restaurants were along the way. And in this case right here, we can see that this is going to be a critical juncture right here, golden pocket and previous lows. If we take this across, you'll see what I'm talking about. See that? Boom, boom. We also pull this all the way across. Look, rejection here. Bounce above this, but bounce right in this zone. Golden pocket. This is going to be a level that we really need to pay attention to. We're nowhere near it right now. In fact, we got a lot of work to do to get up there. But now we know when price action pushes up here, this is going to be, I don't want to call it a roadblock, a major area of interest. Now, this has been a pretty large time frame. Let's see how far back this goes. Oops. So this goes all the way back to December 2021. And we've broken out of this trend line. So, and not only did we break out of it, it looks like we have a little bit, let's see if it is, it looks like it could be a little bit of a bull flag. It is a very ugly, squiggly dibbly bop, kind of a bull flag, kind of just noise. We could kind of cut out the two deviations there. If this were the case, what's the target? I'm going to go from this little bull flag here. We could go all the way down here. This is what people do, and they get themselves into trouble because they're way overshooting where price action is likely going to go. So I'm going to go from this smaller bull flag breakout, and we're going to take this measurement, the measurement of the flagpole, and you can do two different types of measurements. I just want to show you something. A lot of people do this from the top. I even front run this a little bit and do it from the bottom of the bull flag like this because it gives me a more likely area for price to hit without getting front run by everybody in the markets that also sees the target of the bull flag. Does that make sense? So I can give myself a range, right here, option T, right there to. So it gives me a range for targets for where the Ethereum price will likely go. Now, if we see where this target is, now look at my crosshairs where this goes. Previous high, boom, right there. It splits the difference right between these two targets. So that's ultimately going to be the target that I'm looking at. If Ethereum has a bit of a breakout and pushes up, that would be right at the $2,000, a little over $2,000. So that would be a pretty big deal. So I think more likely than not, we're going to want to front run this a bit. If we're trading this on smaller time frames, we're going to want to front run this a bit to sub 2000. So somewhere in this range here, 1995, 1990, for some profits off the table. And then you can rotate that capital back in if you get another bullish structure. Does that make sense? Zeus Cash just said he's just dropping in to say hi. What's up? Shout out to everybody that's here. Let's look at one more coin, and then I got to run over to Discover Crypto. I'm the side desk there, being the mad scientist. Cardano, how you looking, girl? Okay, we had that. Remember, yesterday we mapped this out. We had a bit of a rising wedge in this region here, and it looks like we're breaking down. And we talked about this yesterday. So we've got look at this is the zone I'm looking at. Why? Because we have a bounce here. If we can pull this over, we see there's a lot of bounce here, rejection here, rejection here. So this is an area that I'd be interested in. So now we can do a Fibonacci option F from the bottom to the top. If you're on a PC, it's Alt F, I believe, gives you Fibonacci, or Alt T or Alt H. You could use the quick keys. So look at this. This line right here that we talked about, previous support and resistance, is regionally right about where the 382 is. So on a bullish note, if this breaks back, we want this to be supported at this sort of region to maintain some real bullish authority of the narrative. This is a bearish formation, but we don't want price just to go up. We want it to come down. We want bulls to come in. and then continuation. So rise, retrace, continuation. This is what this is called. This is a structure of trading. Rise, retrace, continuation. So that's what we want to see. Now, will it hold here? If the bulls are really in control of the narrative, it will. There's also a strong likelihood that the price action pulls all the way down into this zone. And wouldn't you know it, this golden pocket zone right here, look at exactly where it is, right around where these previous highs are. So as long as this price pulls back and bounces anywhere in this region, then we're really maintaining, that shift to that bullish narrative that everybody wants to see happen. But let's look for some confirmations when we get pullbacks. That's what we got to do. Now, everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Remember, global liquidity starting to round out. This starts coming in strong into the end of the year, into 2024. We are going to see fireworks with price, because every time we see this large increase in global liquidity, what is it represented in the charts? Large increase in global liquidity. Look at this parabolic uptrend, okay? And this is starting to round out, meaning they're starting to tamper off how much liquidity they're pulling out of the market, that quantitative tightening. So let's stay patient. Let's remember, Bernstein sees Bitcoin hitting 150 by mid-2025. I think that's reasonable. Let's make sure you head over to my page right here at Kelly Kellam. Give me a follow. Make sure you head over to BitLab Academy at Academy BitLab. And remember, we're somewhere in this. We're right in this zone right here. Let's see this zone right here. See this zone right here. Post-halving parabola, post-halving parabola, post-halving parabola. Let's not get so tripped out about what's happening in this zone, because even if we push up to the 786 fib, which is right, I mean, $60,000, 50,000. It may happen, it may not. There's a lot of people super bullish because of spot ETF. Price can go either direction, but let's not be concerned about all the chop here. Protect yourself. Be smart with your trade and investment. I love you all. Make sure you head over to bitlabacademy.com. Join us there. Join us in the Discord. We got that event that's happening today at noon. Members stream, so get involved. That's one of the things you get when you're in BitLab Academy, not just all access to all the courses, but all access to the Discord as well, where we're going to have DZ in there. We're going to have Tim in there, myself, Joshua, Jake, and we're doing just daily content in there, in addition to all the different charts and setups and everything we do. So with that, head over to bitlabacademy.com. I love you all. Sorry I had to rush today, but I'm going to do side desk at Discover Crypto. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And that's all I got. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. See you guys, Discover Crypto. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ding the bell.